Hey everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. The Lakers are now 3-9 following their win in the in-season tournament, the IST, with their worst loss of the season coming at home versus the Miami Heat, with the Heat missing their superstar, Jimmy Butler. Now, there is some credence, in my opinion, to the post-IST hangover. We saw it with both finalists, with the Lakers and the Pacers. However, the Pacers have now leveled that off, whereas the Lakers are seemingly just getting worse. Everything came to a head during the Heat game as the Lakers had just lost off a back-to-back over the weekend. Yes, they've had a crazy road schedule in December, but now they had 2 days off. We're coming home for a homestand, so you would think this is the moment now for the team to really regroup, reset, and come out and really get themselves off to a strong start and build some momentum for January, where they have a good amount of winnable games. However, they came out with the same level of disengagement, lack of focus, and lack of effort that we've seen since the IST. And there was a lot of miscommunication and just lack of attention to detail going on, part of which, yes, can be attributed to new players playing more minutes, Max Christie, Jalen Hood-Schifino, for example. But there's also a lot of players who have played a lot of minutes together who simply were not on it, especially when it came to defensive communication, defensive switches, and transition as well. There was a lot of just puzzling behavior. For example, multiple times you had guys rotating to the same player, not talking about switches, two guys going to the same player, even in transition. And so right away, they felt like there was something more going on. And that became more apparent, in my opinion, in the post-game, where there was a distinct discrepancy between what Coach Darvin Ham was saying. He was talking again about how the team needed to be healthy before really being able to get a clearer picture of them, whereas LeBron James didn't even give a post-game interview, which is always alarming. And then both Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves were saying that injuries can't be an excuse and that they have to figure it out right now, which was quite different than what Coach Ham was saying. That further discrepancy was cemented the following morning with a report by Shams Charania, where he said there was 6 sources who said that the locker room was growing increasingly frustrated with Coach Darvin Ham's rotations and lack of adjustments. And a big one of those was when he decided to go for the Vanderbilt Cam Reddish starting lineup, which just doesn't make sense from an offensive spacing perspective in the slightest. So the process has been subpar, to say the least. What the Heat game reminded me of was 2 years ago when Coach Frank Vogel was coaching. It was his last year with the Lakers. And there was a game, the first game after the All-Star break. Prior to the All-Star break, the players and the coaches were both saying, hey, this is a time to get a mental and physical reset and refresh and really come back and finish out strong. However, that first game had just as much, if not worse, level of effort, focus, attention to detail. And that's when I really knew, hey, that season's over and this team is completely fractured behind the scenes. Now, I don't think this Lakers iteration is quite at that point for multiple reasons. One being that it's still January and they still do have a considerable amount of time to turn things around. But it really showed that, hey, if Coach Ham and the staff don't get the locker room behind them and don't make them understand the process in a sensible way, this could certainly snowball into a situation where you see Ham getting the axe mid-season, regardless of how well he did in the playoffs last season. Of course, only time will tell. This is certainly a critical juncture now for the Lakers and Coach Darvin Ham's tenure with the team.